Lisa Orbé-Austin, own your greatness, overcome imposter syndrome, beat self-doubt, and succeed in life. Embark on a transformative journey to overcome imposter syndrome with the book summary of Own Your Greatness, Overcome Imposter Syndrome, Beat Self-Doubt, and Succeed in Life by Lisa Orbé-Austin. This summary will provide valuable insights into the root causes of imposter syndrome, which often stem from childhood experiences and family dynamics. Shed light on your personal triggers and learn to change your responses to them, harnessing powerful strategies to recreate a more accurate and positive narrative about yourself. Unleash the greatness within you by embracing new roles, silencing negative thoughts, and assembling a supportive dream team.
Overcoming imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is a pervasive phenomenon worldwide that affects people of all ages and professions. This feeling of being a fraud or an imposter can have crippling effects on one's career and personal life. The article emphasizes the importance of changing the negative narrative we tell ourselves and recognizing the root cause of our imposter syndrome. Childhood and family dynamics can play a crucial role in shaping our self-perceptions and lead to imposter thoughts. Uncovering and analyzing our personal imposter origin story can help in breaking the cycle of self-doubt and increasing confidence. The article recommends a simple exercise to identify and understand the negative self-talk. Although difficult and time-consuming, the work of overcoming imposter syndrome is well worth the effort. Unveiling triggers and anticipating responses. Learn how to identify and prepare for triggering situations, and understand the importance of your response in breaking the cycle of automatic imposter responses. The first step to breaking free from the grip of imposter syndrome is to be aware of your triggers and learn to anticipate and prepare for triggering situations. Triggers are situations that activate or intensify feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. In this book, the author will teach you how to identify these triggers and prepare for them. The importance of anticipating triggering situations lies in understanding that your response is equally important to triggers. Automated imposter responses are a common reaction when triggered. By identifying your triggers, you can begin to change your responses. The author provides examples of common triggers such as receiving a promotion or starting a new job, giving an important presentation, or encountering unfamiliar social situations. Once you have identified your triggers, the author encourages you to make a second coping card where you write down all the recent times you felt like an imposter. Analyzing these situations can help you look for patterns and complete the sentence, "I'm triggered by situations that, places that, and people who," or write out what you're feeling when you're triggered. By understanding your triggers and responses, you can break the cycle of automatic imposter responses and begin to change the narrative. Rewrite your narrative. Learn how to transform your imposter syndrome beliefs and craft a more accurate and positive narrative by using the method of thickening the story. Are you familiar with imposter syndrome? Do you constantly tell yourself that you are not qualified for your job and that you are a fraud? It's time to put an end to that old and tired story. This summary excerpt provides a method to help individuals who feel like imposters to create a more accurate and positive narrative that thicken their story. The method is to thicken the story. Imposter syndrome beliefs are distorted and simplistic, creating a one-dimensional narrative that is not entirely true. Imposter beliefs are often shaped by inaccurate or incomplete information, flaws, strengths, and achievements that are left unacknowledged. By thickening our story, we can create something more complex, balanced, accurate, and affirming. The power of a thicker narrative lies in both-and thinking. For example, if your imposter story is, "I only have this job because no one more qualified applied," write out the skills and achievements that this story ignores. Consider what the bigger context is for that story and what is missing. An example of a thicker narrative could be, "I may not have been the most qualified, but my experience and skills in this area were strong enough to secure the job. My new job challenges me and lets me learn and build my skills. I will continue to develop my abilities and expertise while contributing to the company's success." With this method, individuals can rewrite their imposter narratives to create an honest, positive, and more accurate story. All it takes is a notepad, writing out all the old imposter narratives, and then a parallel column to thicken the narrative. By doing so, individuals can change the way they see themselves, avoid self-sabotage, and improve their confidence and performance in their field. In summary, it's time to rewrite your narrative and change the way you perceive yourself. Use the method of thickening the story to craft a more complex, balanced, accurate, and positive narrative, and put an end to imposter syndrome once and for all. Overcoming imposter syndrome by speaking your truth. Overcoming imposter syndrome can be challenging, but it's essential to recognize that no one can do it alone. A simple strategy that can help weaken the grip of this experience is speaking your truth and putting it out in the world. Sharing what it's like to live with imposter syndrome with trusted people and owning your skills and achievements. When you share with confidence, you'll often find that they have similar feelings or see achievements and skills you've missed. Owning your accomplishments involves acknowledging that you have lots of talents and writing out a list of the things you excel at. This fourth coping card serves as a reminder of your greatness when you need it. Crushing ANTs. Learn how to silence automatic negative thoughts, ANTs, that contribute to imposter syndrome by challenging them with evidence-based questions and replacing them with positive thoughts. Imagine having a beautiful picnic, but then ants start swarming around your food and ruining everything. These annoying little creatures are like the negative thoughts that crowd your mind when you experience imposter syndrome. They show up unexpectedly, are intrusive, and carry a lot of weight. In step 5 of the book, you will learn how to silence these ANTs, or automatic negative thoughts, because they interrupt your ability to change your imposter story and think positively about yourself. The author lists common ANTs, such as mind reading, labeling, fortune-telling, catastrophizing, unfair comparisons, all-or-nothing thinking, and discounting positives. They then recommend creating a coping card by writing down your most common or strongest automatic negative thoughts and how they contribute to your imposter syndrome. To develop ANT repellent, you need to challenge each ANT with evidence-based questions. For example, if you tend to catastrophize, you might ask, "What evidence do I have that this could happen?" Or, "Has anyone ever been fired for giving a poor presentation before?" Write out a list of challenge questions that you can ask yourself in the future when each ANT crawls its way into your mind. Lastly, replace each ANT with a positive thought by reframing it. For example, if I make a mistake, they won't fire me. It will give me the opportunity to receive feedback, and that will help me grow and do my job better. By following these steps, you can learn how to crush ANTs and improve your self-esteem, self-talk, and overall mental health. Experimenting with new roles. In the final step of addressing imposter syndrome, individuals should give up their typical roles and experiment with new ones. This step involves identifying common roles related to imposter syndrome, such as the helper and the failure avoider, and replacing them with alternative roles, such as the help seeker and the risk taker. To succeed in this process, individuals should be open-minded and playful, and start with low-stakes situations. They can begin by trying out these roles with one person, gradually gaining confidence before moving on to more significant interactions. Additionally, individuals should create a coping card listing the new roles they want to try and the situations that are suitable for each of them. Ultimately, this process will help individuals move away from the limiting beliefs that perpetuate their imposter syndrome and toward healthier and more authentic ways of thinking about themselves. Creating your dream team. Learn how to build a support system to combat imposter syndrome with 6 key team members. Are you ready to stop feeling like an imposter and start living your best life? Look no further than building your dream team, a group of trusted individuals who will support you throughout your journey. The 6 key team members include the cheerleader, the grounder, the action planner, the big picture person, the imposter expert, and the mentor. Your cheerleader will lift you up and remind you of your strengths when you feel down, while your grounder will provide a reality check when you start to catastrophize. The action planner will help you break down problems and make a plan, and the big picture person will remind you of your values and long-term goals when you feel overwhelmed. The imposter expert can be someone who has specialized training or has experienced imposter syndrome themselves, and lastly, the mentor can offer career guidance and advice. By building this team, you will have 7 coping cards to rely on in moments of doubt or insecurity. Remember, changing your relationship with yourself is not an easy task, but having a dream team to support you can make all the difference in overcoming imposter syndrome and believing in yourself.
Through the steps provided in Own Your Greatness, you can change your narrative and defeat imposter syndrome. You have learned to uncover the origins of your imposter feelings, identify triggers, and rewrite your story with a thicker, more accurate view of yourself. By speaking your truth and owning your skills, you gain new perspectives on your capabilities. Keeping negative thoughts in check and challenging old roles reinforce your newfound positivity. And finally, with the support of your tailored dream team, you can lean on the right people when in need. Remember to revisit your coping cards to keep these profound changes alive and continue owning your greatness.